Now that Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is out, everyone is talking about what the future of this franchise is going to be. The movie is extremely popular, and there's even some talk of some old Toho monsters being thrown in the next one for good fun. But which monsters are most likely to appear in the new movie? And how will this all relate to the other films in the Monsterverse that we've already seen? What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now, for today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the rumors and fan theories that have been coming out for the next sequel in the Monsterverse. Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire has been a massive hit, already passing the box office for Godzilla vs. Kong's entire theatrical run and going on to become one of the most financially profitable Monsterverse movies to date. So a sequel is pretty much inevitable at this point, and two monsters in particular are being discussed as being good candidates for the next big bad in the franchise. One of these is actually something the fans believe they've been teasing for a while now, and the other is something that the director may have even alluded to in a recent interview. So let's talk about Destoroyah first. In a recent sit-down promoting GXK, Adam Wingard had this to say about one of the fans' most talked about movies from Japan. I'll say this, one of my top Godzilla movies is Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. The reason it's one of my favorite films is I don't think any other Godzilla movie, maybe outside of -1 and the 1954 original, has ever hit such emotional highs. The ending of that film, when Godzilla Jr. dies and subsequently Godzilla melts to death, is so poignant and also beautiful in the way that they do it. The first time I saw it, it brought tears to my eyes. And part of that is thanks to Akira Ifukube's grand score that plays in that scene. Now, personally, I think this was actually a really good idea to discuss where Adam thinks the future could go in this interview, because not only do a lot of Godzilla fans love Destoroyah, but they also love the ending of that movie, and he really talks here about why that ending was so impactful to a lot of people who have seen it. But does that necessarily mean that Destoroyah himself is who we can expect to see in the next film? Well, personally, I would love that, but I'm not so sure this is where they're going to take everything in the future, because there is another monster that people have been talking about getting hyped for literally years now. If you pay close attention to this little Easter egg from 2021, you can see a Godzilla-looking monster flying, and everyone that loves these movies seems to think that this is probably an allusion to a new big bad monster that we could see in the future, and SpaceGodzilla is honestly the only thing that pops out immediately as far as that category goes, and I can't really think of anything else, but this isn't exactly confirmation on what they could finally use. Remember, in GXK, Mothra was thrown in at the last second, and originally it was going to be a new creation they made called Phosphera. So who's to say that this isn't a brand new Godzilla-esque monster they've been trying to tease and create behind the scenes? Personally, I'd rather have them do SpaceGodzilla just to make everything more Heisei inspired, and look, hear me out here, what if both rumors are true in some way? Instead of the next movie being some sort of pick or choose your bad guy with either SpaceGodzilla or Destoroyah as the big bad, what if the plan has been to tease both of these guys in the news media for a big bad tag team match in GVK3? I mean, think about it. In Godzilla vs. Kong, the big bad at the end was Mechagodzilla. Then we go over into his most recent film where the two monsters team up once again to fight Shimo and the Scar King. They're newer creations, but what if the next film really is King Kong and Godzilla going up against not only the SpaceGodzilla tease from the cave painting, but what if it's also the threat of Destoroyah, now that Adam Wingard has told us this film is on his mind? Look, in my opinion, that would be awesome, and it could go down as one of the coolest ideas the Monsterverse could ever have for a sequel. Or, they could just pick one or the other and just do something entirely different. I think the idea of Mecha King Ghidorah is a possibility too, but I don't really think they are going to want to tackle the dragon again or anytime soon. Mothra coming back to help fight either SpaceGodzilla, Destoroyah, or both does sound really fun, and probably the big takeaway from this interview is how Adam Wingard has said that he really likes the emotional feel from the end of the final Heisei movie. So is he saying the idea to kill Godzilla is on the table? Well, I don't know, but it wouldn't be too hard to believe. Or he could even kill Kong, couldn't he? There's really just two monsters to talk about here, either SpaceGodzilla or Destoroyah. Now, even though he mentioned versus Destoroyah as a very emotional sort of film to end the Heisei series on, he didn't mention the monster specifically, whereas a lot of people have been saying SpaceGodzilla does seem like it's on the horizon. Which one would I rather have? It's hard to choose. They're both really, really cool. I'd probably go Destoroyah, but I don't know, SpaceGodzilla is so cool, and if they're already teasing it, I have no idea how they'd update that monster for the Monsterverse. And I can't deny, like, how cool would it be if they just got the rights to both of these monsters? Similar to how, like, Gigan teamed up with Megalon after he'd already teamed up with King Ghidorah. You know, just doing, like, a tag team sort of battle sounds really, really cool. SpaceGodzilla and Destoroyah, they've both only been in one live-action film apiece. So whoever they choose for the next movie, this is going to be extremely interesting. Anyways, guys, what are all of your thoughts? Who do you think the next big bad is going to be in the Monsterverse? Is it Destoroyah? Or do you think it makes more sense for them to use SpaceGodzilla or something else entirely? These are the ones that everyone's talking about, so hey, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Let me tell you something, brother. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and if you'd like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be updated when I put out new videos. God bless you all. Christ is King. I hope you all enjoyed your time, and as always, take it easy.